You might notice, as you think about your life, there's this tendency to reach out for something external, as if there's always something out there, something you need, something that will make everything just right. But the real magic, you'll soon discover, has always been here within you. You see, just as a river never worries about running out of water, because it knows it's always replenished, you too are already whole, complete and capable. The truth is, what you've been looking for, outside of yourself, it's always been right there. You've everything you need. And in that very moment, the way you breathe, the way you stand, the way you move through the world, these small, seemingly simple things, they're actually the very essence of your strength. You may have wondered about time, about running out of resources, about not being enough. But notice how, in every breath you take, you're actually provided for, moment by moment, by the world around you. The universe, like a gardener, tending to a plant, provides all that you need, even when you can't see it directly. What if you didn't have to worry about time or resources anymore? What if everything you needed was already in place, waiting for you to simply relax into the flow? There's no need to chase after the next thing, because every piece of who you are is part of the whole, just as a puzzle piece fits perfectly into its place. You may have noticed in the past how you sought external things, like certain possessions or certain activities, hoping they'd give you what you were truly seeking, feeling safe, feeling whole, feeling worthy. And yet all of that was just like a cloud in the sky. It would drift in and drift out, leaving you wondering where the certainty went. But now, as you listen to my voice, you'll realize something very important. What if the source of that sense of completeness is not outside of you, but inside? And what if, with each passing day, you become more and more aware of the treasures that you've been holding on within you all along? It's as if the answers you've been looking for were always right there in front of you, just waiting for you to notice. What if you learned how to appreciate what you already have in your life? What if you could open your eyes to see the richness, the abundance, the goodness in every moment, in this very moment? And when you begin to truly appreciate it, truly feel grateful for what you have, something powerful happens. It begins to multiply. When you let go of the need for external validation and embrace the power of your own internal resourcefulness, you unlock a new way of being in the world. And you start to realize everything you need, it's already here. So imagine for a moment that you're like a tree deeply rooted in the earth, standing tall, knowing it doesn't have to chase the wind, nor reach for the sun. It simply grows organically from the very soil it's connected to. There's no rush, no hurry, no panic to get somewhere else. Because in this moment, everything you need to thrive is already available. And as you begin to embrace this truth, something shifts inside of you. You no longer need to worry about what if, or I don't have enough. Instead, you're like a river that flows effortlessly, adapting to each change with grace. You become more flexible, more resilient, more at peace with the ebb and flow of life. And as you begin to embrace this, notice how your mind and your body to begin to settle into a natural rhythm. You may begin to notice the small shifts that tell you that you are indeed enough just as you are. That you're always capable, always worthy, always whole. This is your birthright. This is the truth of who you are. In fact, as you focus less on external things and more on the depth of your own being, you discover it's not the things that you have that define you, but your relationships to them. In this moment, right now, you can feel that inner strength. The quiet certainty that you're worthy, that you're loved, that you're enough. It's not about getting more, but about realizing that everything you need is already in motion within you. So imagine each day you wake up with a simple knowing that you're fully supported, that time doesn't need to be pressure, that resources don't need to be scarce, and that what you have is not only enough, but it's overflowing. You begin to see what you've been looking for. It's always been there within you, around you, and flowing through you. And just like a river doesn't worry about the sun, knowing it'll always come, you too can begin to trust in your own ability to adapt, to adjust, to thrive. It's all part of the beautiful dance of life, where nothing is ever really missing, and nothing is ever really out of place. So as you let go of the idea that you need something out there to be whole, you realize the paradox. The more you let go, the more you attract. Because abundance is not something that comes from outside, but something that arises from within. Every thought you think, every moment you experience, is an opportunity to choose to be grateful, to be present, to be whole. As you become more and more comfortable with the ebb and flow of life, you begin to realize that life is not a series of things to be fixed, but a journey to be experienced. And in this experience, you find peace. Peace with yourself. Peace with your life. And peace with the uncertainty that will always be there, but no longer overwhelms you. As you begin to settle deeper into this moment, you may begin to notice how naturally your breath flows, as if it were always guiding you, like the gentle waves of the ocean that rise and fall with perfect timing. And you realize, just like those waves, everything is in rhythm, everything in motion. And the very fact that you're here right now, breathing, living being, means you're already complete, already whole. The thought that something is missing fades, as if you were a cloud moving across the sky, only for you to watch it pass by, knowing it doesn't need to stay. And just like that, your belief in scarcity, in lack, it dissolves, leaving space for something much more powerful to take its place, and knowing deep inside that you're enough just as you are. And it's interesting, isn't it, how easily we can be influenced by the idea that more is required, that something outside of us will complete the picture. But just like a tree doesn't need to gather its leaves from somewhere else, it simply grows them from within. You too can begin to realize that what you've been searching for has always been right here, in you, and in each moment. As you relax into the present, you begin to see the very desire to seek outside of yourself is no longer necessary, because you're now aware you've always had everything that you need to thrive. Everything you ever needed was always there, waiting for you to see it, to feel it, to know it. And as you let go of the idea that you need more, notice how naturally you begin to see what you already have, and how that alone becomes more than enough. It's like stepping into a room full of treasures that you'd overlooked, everything in perfect order, everything in its right place. And it was never about adding anything else, but about shifting your perception, so you could see the abundance already surrounding you. The moment you start to realize that your worth is not tied to possessions, status, or approval, something begins to change. You begin to feel lighter, freer, and in control, knowing that your value comes from who you are, not what you know. And just imagine for a moment how you begin to relax more deeply with life, with the world around you, knowing you don't need to control it. There's no rush, and that time is not something you have to chase. Time, in fact, becomes your ally, because as you surrender to the natural flow of life, you notice how much easier it is to respond, to adapt, to enjoy what's already unfolding. Life, much like a river, moves in its own way. And when you stop fighting the current, you find yourself gliding effortlessly, knowing there's no need to push or strive. And you realize all is unfolding exactly as it should, and that you're right where you need to be. You're exactly who you need to be. You may even begin to notice how your thoughts soften, like the first rays of dawn gently lightening the night sky. The idea that resources are running out becomes distant, like an old story told by someone who didn't know the truth. And now the truth is clear, because you've always had exactly what you needed. Your own resourcefulness, your own creativity, your own resilience, they are your true source of power, and they're always available to you, like the air that you breathe. And what if you could embrace the uncertainty of life. Not as something to fear, but as an invitation to trust more deeply in yourself, in the process, in the journey, like a seed in the ground. You don't know exactly how it'll grow, but you trust the process. You trust the earth beneath you, and you know deep down that you'll bloom when the time is right. There's no rush, there's no hurry. Life will unfold as it should, and as it does, you'll adapt, learn and grow, because that is what you're meant to do. And here, right now, you can start to feel that deep sense of calm, the kind of peace that comes from knowing that you're in perfect alignment with your purpose. The worry, the fear, the anxiety, all of these things, they dissolve like mist in the morning sun. And what remains is a deep sense of inner peace, a confidence that comes not from external validation, but from your own innate knowing that you're worthy, capable and enough. And isn't it fascinating how this understanding, this shift, it begins to open doors to new possibilities? When you stop looking outside for validation, you open up to the endless potential that exists within you. The world no longer seems like something to survive, but something to experience, to engage with. And you begin to see that challenges are just opportunities for growth. And with every challenge you face, you become more adaptable, more flexible, more resilient. In fact, as you embrace the moment, as you let go of the need to control or perfect, you begin to realize life, it's not something to fix, but something to experience with full engagement. And you begin to enjoy the beauty in the ordinary, the joy in simplicity, the fear that something is missing becomes distant, and what remains is an openness to what is already here. So as you move forward from this moment, carrying this new awareness with you, it's as though a new door opens within you, a door to greater ease, greater peace, and greater abundance. You no longer need to worry about time running out, or resources being scarce, because you know deep in your bones that you're always provided for. And the more you relax into this truth, the more your world shifts, and the more you become a magnet for the very things you've been seeking. Because what you've been seeking was never outside of you. It was always within, always waiting for you to recognize it. You, and only you, are the key to unlocking everything you've been looking for. Every moment you're becoming more and more comfortable with this natural flow of life. You're learning to trust the process, to trust yourself, to trust that the universe will provide. And you know there's no need to chase, because you're already enough, already whole, already worthy. And with this deep knowing, you can step forward into the world, fully present, fully engaged, fully alive.